In the last episode, I challenged you all to guess the cartoon character behind this shadow. The answer was Hong Kong Phooey. Congratulations to the winner for being the first to post the correct answer. Arnold! 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 Shh! Arnold! Arnold! Hey! Arnold! Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here, and I love Hey Arnold! Hey Arnold is a Nickelodeon cartoon series that explored the lives of people from different backgrounds and cultures. It wasn't a squeaky clean series like most kids' programs. I mean, it wasn't afraid to show unconventional family structures, emotionally abusive homes, and poverty-stricken children. In addition, it had weird, exaggerated character designs that justified its animation format. It was awesome. And in 2002, Hey Arnold got its own movie.
Out with the old, in with the new. I've seen the future. Change is good.
Hey Arnold the movie is an animated comedy that follows a football-headed boy called Arnold, whose neighborhood is under the threat of demolition. You see, a wealthy tycoon called Sheck wants to destroy the block to make way for new, shiny buildings. Luckily, Arnold discovers that his street is part of history, and there's a document that defends it as a historical landmark, but it's gone missing. It's up to Arnold to find the document with help from his best friend Gerald and a passive-aggressive girl called Helga, who has a secret infatuation towards Arnold. Now, I will admit that the first half of this film is kind of weak compared to its second half. As soon as the film begins, we're introduced to Arnold's little neighborhood, which is very peaceful and quaint. And then, only a minute or so later, the main conflict is introduced. Yeah, it comes out of nowhere. It's really sudden. It's a lot to take in, especially for those who aren't familiar with the show. It's just thrown at the audience, like, this is it, this is the main story of the film, here you go. Okay, right? And then the first act of the film is pretty much made up of Gerald and Arnold going to different buildings as they talk to people about a missing document. It's not very exciting or cinematic to watch people talking about a bit of paper for about 20 minutes. Yeah, it gets tedious. However, as soon as Arnold and Gerald become secret agents, that's when the film finally starts to become exciting. We're no longer watching two kids talking to grown-ups about a missing piece of paper, we're watching two kids go on an exciting, important mission, full of cool gadgets, tense, nail-biting moments, high-octane action set pieces, laugh-out-loud comedy, and twists, turns, reveals. This is why I prefer the second half to the first half. On the other hand, I will admit that the first half of the film does do a really good job of adding emotional depth and weight to Arnold's neighborhood. The film provides some somber and heartfelt moments with the residents to help us sympathize with them and understand how Sheck's plan affects them personally. That's one of the things I really like about this film. It really captures a sense of camaraderie and community. Everyone works together, everyone contributes to defending the block in their own way. I love that. I like Arnold. He's a cool, mellow, and laid-back guy, but many have criticized him for being too boring. And I'll be honest, I will admit that I can see that perspective. He's a very righteous, angelic, and saintly character. He's a nice guy, and nice guys aren't exactly interesting to watch. A character needs some kind of flaw or negative trait to make them more human and dimensional, and Arnold doesn't really have any of those things. However, I think this just makes him a good role model rather than a good character. He's someone for audiences to inspire to, someone to influence audiences to do good deeds. That's a great thing. Gerald is a snarky and cheeky kind of character. He's very charismatic, but his place in the film is limited to the protagonist's companion, and little more than that. Yeah, he's a likable character, but the film doesn't give him an identity beyond Arnold's best friend. Helga is a fascinating and hilarious character in this film. I love how she bounces between the emotions of denial, anger, love sickness, desire, and many others. At the same time, she does contribute to the film in her own little way. She is part of the mission. Now, Shek may have a lot of power, but he's a very forgettable character. He's just a typical, generic, power-hungry villain. That's about it. I can't really say anything about him. He has his moments, but he's not very memorable. Arnold's grandparents are so much fun. They are really entertaining. His granddad is goofy and wacky, and his grandma is batshit insane. I love how weird and eccentric they both are. Now, what's interesting is that they're both full of determination and confidence, which has definitely rubbed off on Arnold. You can see that their parenting has influenced their grandchild. Now, most movies based on Nickelodeon cartoons tend to amp up their animation quality. Films like the Rugrats movie or the SpongeBob SquarePants movie really knew that they were making a product for the cinema, so they tried to be more fluid and more impressive. But Hey Arnold the movie looks like it was made for TV. It looks a bit shinier, yeah, but the quality of the animation is pretty much the same. This is disappointing. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad animation, far from it. It can be expressive, energetic, and very fun, as well as creative, especially during comedic moments. When it needs to get a bit wacky and crazy, it really puts a lot of effort in, and that's where the animators really put their heart and soul into the animation. Spencer Klein voices Arnold. Now, what I like about Spencer's voice for Arnold is that it's very nuanced. But he also gives a lot of heartfelt energy to his delivery to sound like he does care about what's going on.
The location of your document is unknown.
Gerald is voiced by Jamil Smith. Now, Jamil is very cheeky and tenacious when it comes to his delivery, which really captures the charisma of his character.
It's a black thing. I wouldn't know.
Francesca Marie Smith is fantastic as Helga. She is amazing. She's so boisterously entertaining.
Arnold! I mean, watch where you're going, football head. Where's the fire?
Paul Sorvino voices Shek. Now, it doesn't help that Shek is a very forgettable villain, but Sorvino isn't that special either. His performance is kind of bland. There's not much personality to his voice.
It must be upsetting to be apprehended and dragged unceremoniously into my office like this, but I can't have young boys wandering the halls of my company unescorted. You understand?
Dan Castellaneta voices Arnold's granddad, and as usual, Castellaneta is brilliant. He's so goofy, wacky, and silly. I love his performance.
Whatever happens, we'll all be okay, even if we have to become Canadians.
And Tress MacNeille voices Arnold's grandma. I love her. She is so good. It's clear that she's having so much fun with the part. She knows how crazy and loopy her character is, and she really gets into the role.
Bring on your worst. We shall not be moved.
Come on, lady, nice and easy.
There's only one word to describe the music score for this film. Jazz. Yeah, this film affectionately embraces the genre of jazz. It uses jazz in a variation of ways to create certain moods or tones, whether it has to be tense and exciting or comedic or silly. Yeah, I like this because it gives the score its own unique, consistent identity. At the same time, the film does use some orchestral pieces to give the film some cinematic weight. You know what? I think that Hey Arnold the movie is okay. Just okay. It's a fine effort. It's good for what it is. If you're a fan of the original TV show, you're going to love it. Especially for this one particular scene, which I won't spoil, but trust me, you've been waiting for it if you've been a long-time viewer of Hey Arnold.
I'm going to give this film 3 Secret Agent Strawberries out of 5. And if you enjoyed such titles as Recess School's Out or Spy Kids, then you'll most definitely enjoy this film as well.
So, have you seen Hey Arnold the movie? If you have, then what did you think of it? Let me know in the comment section. I've been Jambareeqi and I hope you enjoyed my review. In the next episode, I'm going to review The Tale of Despero. Cheerio, folks.